organize a new one. Why not small businesses? Why not normal businesses? Why not startups? So today's topic is how small businesses like ours are actually using AI without needing a silicon budget. Let's be honest, when you hear AI, it sounds super complicated and expensive. But the cool thing is, there are some really smart and surprisingly affordable ways that everyday businesses are using it right now. So, tonight we are going to talk about the real stuff, the tools and tricks that don't cost a fortune, can make a change. So let's start with our us. My name is Gulshan. I work with Dr. Saha at Techno Exponent, and Dr. Saha is hello, Dr. Saha.
Hi everyone.
So Dr. Saha is an AI PhD and the CEO, founder and CEO of Techno Exponent. So Dr. Saha, AI is a used to be a buzzword, but not anymore. So I have a very straight question. When like how the real question is, I guess, what's the biggest myth business believe about AI? That it's too expensive, too complex, or only meant for large companies?
Hi, myself, Dr. Sabir
Frozen
Sachi,
on
and
y'all's end?
Froze.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So actually, I would like to tell, and I got a lot this question lot of times, like whether it is too expensive or is too complex for, or it's only meant for the large companies. So basically, it actually absolutely not true. Like it's only tech giant can afford it. Right now, a lot of affordable business tools there, and many of the companies are using those business tools, creating low cost MVP, proof of concept within just few weeks, and proving that their business are not behind the scene actually. So let's imagine like an AI appointment booking system, lead filtrations, customer sentiment tracking, inventory prediction, report generations, voice assistant chatbots, sales forecasting, and many more. Lot of those applications right now you can find it already developed. You can get a subscription and take. Sometimes it's not according to your needs, so you can build a custom software, and it's very low cost, and you can even build it in a 1 week, 2 week, and 3 weeks time with any tech companies. So many time people ask about like whether we have this need, but it's too expensive, too costly, we cannot afford it. But small businesses like us, we must need to implement those into our businesses to make it faster delivery to our client, get a better customer experience, and get it lot of benefited. So that's I wanted to add, Gulshan, here.
Thank you so much. And I would like to ask Nicola the same question. Nicola is, by the way, the CTO of AlphaCox. Hi, Nicola.
Hi, thanks for having me. So yeah, AI it can be, to be honest, quite expensive, especially when you obviously go for large scale deployment without thinking that if you have to train and create the model itself, that is something that is obviously not reachable for a company like us. There are obviously a lot of data and computer power that involves this type of things. Luckily, like has been said, we have a lot of different possibilities. We, as a company, are developing an artificial intelligence based hub application, and we are using AWS as we are AWS partners. And obviously using all the right tools and the right service when they are managed, when they are serverless, that allow us to run a very complex workflow at a reasonable cost. Not cheap, but at a reasonable cost, an affordable cost. Especially when we work for our clients and when our partners in the fashion industry and in the sport industry, that solutions can really save the bank. serverless solutions and models that have been already trained for whatever you need can really save the cost. And also you have the possibility of customization, pre-trained models with obviously corporate data to fit better what are your needs, still at a very convenient price. So yes, there are very good ways of using the latest technologies, especially in the cloud, um, without needing to be NVIDIA or Microsoft. Yeah.
Thank you so much for such insight. And I would like to ask Dr. Saha. So when we are talking about the AI part, is it essential or optional? So when is the right time to start using it as a startup?
Uh, it's really essential now. It's a backbone of the modern business, you can say, because most of the customer today expect like a personalized services, smart recommendation, faster support, and all is powered by AI. If you see like when you go any showroom or any shops, we want like, or any restaurant, so we want like our previous ordered food should be come up as a suggestions. Or if we are going to any of the shopping platforms, so we based on our personalized data, our recommendation come up, and we always like it, and we make the first shopping. Even the customer feedbacks also very important for a business to get it through the AI, and summarize it and give a brief to the owner or a directors, like this is the first customer is talking about it. um, that would be very handy for any of the businesses. So if you are asking me like best time to use the AI, so I would say best time to start using AI was yesterday, and second best time is right now. So we should start small and pick one process in your business, maybe lead responses, appointment booking, customer support, or anything. Or you can use like a small language model. Right now people talk about a large language model and talk about a lot of GPUs power and etc, but we can have a small language model where we can have a smaller GPUs, low cost, and we can use that. Even sometimes CPUs would also be helping it, and we can deploy the product for a small businesses. My goal is that if you have a large, if you have a small businesses, so use the small language model. You don't need to use the like llama 3 llama 3, or a cloud bigger versions, or OpenAI things. You even use a small language model, which also can help your businesses, but we are actually ignoring the power of the small language model. So my thing is that every businesses should use the AI in an essential part, and they can use into their day-to-day life, or day-to-day life in the businesses. So that's the take on from here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saha. And we have Mark with us. Mark, who's the CEO of Way to Date. Mark, are you there?
Hello. Yeah, I was having trouble putting on my camera because I just downloaded the Zoom app.
Yeah, hi
Sorry
Mark,
about
how are
that.
you? After long days, Mark and
Yeah,
Chad, I met in last October.
yeah. Good to
Yeah,
see you. Been
yeah,
a
good to
while.
see you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Chad office, we spend a lot of times. Hi, Chad. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Gulshan.
So, yeah. So, Mr. Mark, what your take on this?
Well, I'm excited. I already sent a WhatsApp text to Sabisatchi a while back about adding a AI layer to my dating app anyways. So there's so many things that Gemini does. They've been doing it for months now that I'm like, yep, I'm gonna put that in the app as far as like connecting people. And basically I want to be able to prompt the AI to say for a person to say, hey, I want some tacos tonight and I want to go play pool, and I want them to grab the location and be able to set the night up for them. They could pick a restaurant, and they could pick a venue to go after that, and they don't have to leave the app and go search in somewhere like Yelp or go on Google. They could stay right in the app and have the AI prompt it. So yeah, it's been in the vision for a long time. So I'm glad that we're even having this discussion.
Thank you. And so Mr. Chad is here. Hello, Chad.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. And I would like to ask you the same question. How do you see small businesses or normal businesses, or let's take startups, using AI? Is it essential or not?
Um, I mean, I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that artificial intelligence is going to make the industrial revolution seem like just a vapor. I think I'm investing in it personally. I'm looking forward. I've got a strategy for how we can incorporate it into RevText. But I think if you're not leveraging it, at least for just basic copywriting in your copy, like that's foundational. You know, I've considered using it for data analytics so that we can send better text campaigns based on past performance and using AI to generate those models to say, hey, this text that went out on Friday afternoon didn't perform as well as this one on Saturday based on this revenue, and use it to generate ROI calculations, as well as, it helps me with all my spreadsheets. There's no way I can create some of these formulas that I'm getting from AI. It's incredible. So I think every small business, every business should be using it in some aspect. And the hardest step is going to be the first one. I think once you get going and you realize the power of a tool, you're just going to see new opportunities that you can incorporate it.
Thank you so much for sharing. And Mr. Lee is here. Lee Sazen. Hello, Lee.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, Lee Chazen with Glider Cell out here in Northern California. Yeah, I agree with Chad that this is an absolute game changer. I was blown away by ChatGPT 3.5, and it's just been amazing ever since. And I've just been on this expedition really of the mind to figure out what's going on and how this can be used. Real quick example. So using a transcription app called Otter, I can walk around all day, gather thoughts and ideas about what I'm working on, copy and paste that text into a note on Notebook LM, collect all these notes, and then ask uh, Notebook LM and Gemini Pro that's on Notebook LM to interpret that for me. So now imagine if you had every employee, every team member record thoughts and ideas, right? Their best ideas, put those together in a note, then ask AI to find the theme that connects everyone together. But also imagine what you might do with your customers, your clients. You could collect all kinds of data and information on your customers. Same thing, copy and paste all that text, then get a data set on like Myers-Briggs or some kind of personality inventory, right? You can then attach a persona to your customers, meaning who are they? What do they like? How do they like to receive information? What do they want? Connect that to the persona or the culture of your company. Now you've got perfect synchronicity between what you're offering and how they like to get it. AI can figure that out. And by the way, if you add up all these apps, I'm only spending like $70 a month. So it's very cheap. I just use Poe AI, platform that has like 100 large language models. I use Otter, like I just mentioned, Notebook LM, and that's about it. And I can get really great results. And you can also spend a lot of time walking around gathering these thoughts and ideas on your phone, and then come back. AI will convert that into your website content, into social media, into an email campaign, and it's all done real fast. So it's a real time saver.
Thank you so much. And now I'd like to come to Eliza. Eliza Jones, so AI consultant from Sovereign. Hello, Eliza.
Hello.
What's your take on this? We have like really good discussion having right now, and I would like to ask you the same question. How do you see the AI for small businesses?
I think the most important thing for any small business wanting to implement AI is to think strategically where are the high value areas to be able to implement it. So starting with a full SWOT analysis, discovering where those opportunities and weaknesses are, especially so that you can target the specific areas. Don't feel like you have to implement AI across the board in every single system. That's just going to create massive overwhelm and end up being actually more costly to you. But by identifying the really strategic, high value opportunities, and then starting with some piloting, right? Don't go full bore on an annual subscription to something that's going to be very expensive. Just take it in little bits and pieces. Try it with a small segment in your company and see what the ROI actually is for you. So that's my guidance. But as far as actually how important is it, it's absolutely important. So just to echo and support what everybody else has already said, the time is now. It's going to be a long lasting thing. So investing in those, like I said, strategic high value areas and in training your staff and getting buy-in from the bottom up are key.
Okay, here is a thing you just mentioned, having a staff or having a team. So I personally feel like I have a question. Dr. Saha, I believe you can help me with that. What will happen if a business doesn't have a tech team, and like how this company can take a baby step toward integrating AI, and what are the major things they should avoid while starting using AI?
So in this case, if the company doesn't have a tech team, first of the thing they need to have a consultant. So I don't want anyone should start with a bigger project without consulting with a person. So they should have a very good chief AI scientist or a CTO who have a research or who has doing lot of days in this field. So a proper consultancy who are helping the or bridging between business and AI. So first thing, very small thing is consultancy, and after consulting with a AI person, they should understand what are the needs of that. Actually, the company doesn't need a tech team because there are a lot of companies like us are in the market, and they first goal very baby step is that to get a tech team, get a consultancy from a persons, and once the consultancy been done, they understand what is the business need, what to do, then they can hire a tech team to work on that particular need. My always one point I talk to our client, like, or talk to any person whom I talk, like, never start with a bigger project until unless you have a bigger funding, bigger budget, then it's okay for the enterprise level client. But for all the small business owner, mid-level business owner, or who are maybe bigger but in the AI they are new, start with a proof of concept or a MVP model, and with that they can build a new or bigger technologies or bigger product in the future. So answer to your question in very brief, Gulshan, like important is that first consulting to a AI person who are in this field for a long time, not only a developer but also understand the business side. That's the biggest things to be done. Like, many people you will be finding who are very good on the AI but they are not very good on the business. So the person you need, like, who knows the AI in detail and who also know the business, which can be built through the AI. And then first, after consulting the point, you first determine that what your need, and after that you directly go to building the software products or AI product with a tech team.
Thank you so much. I believe this is someone else, if can add anything, any thoughts on this foundational question, I would love to hear about it.
I'll jump in. Thank you, Linda from Albright AI. So in our worldview, well, let me back up. 30 years as an early adopter of disruptive technology, and I'm going to mimic what Chad said. I was around for Web 1, founded a .com before anyone knew what they were. They were rode into Web 2 with social media and all that crazy stuff. Web 3, blockchain, super cool, transformative. Nothing compares to the AI revolution. Like, I've been part of all those revolutions, and AI puts those to shame. We take a look at the 12 different departments that AI can be used in for small businesses, not for enterprises, but for small businesses. And I'm going to mimic what Elisa said, which is where's the pain? And there's an AI tool or workflow that can help that. So I have a couple of examples just to kind of bring it home. So one client of ours needed cold outreach. So within about a very short order, a couple of weeks, she got 236 new cold leads that were not bots and real quality leads. We had another client who has a great program over in France and wanted to, go to market in the States, and using AI tools completely translated all his French into English. So now he's got the entire US market at his fingertips. And another client we're actually building an AI employee for, because she's so tired of not finding the right human. And I know this is controversial, but it happens, right? She can't find the right human. So we're building an AI employee to just handle some of that stuff that shouldn't be that hard to handle. And so I'm just so excited by the opportunities in front of us. And I tell small business owners, like, do you want to be Blockbuster or do you want to be Netflix? Like, it's really up to you, right? So I love this conversation. Thank you for the invitation.
And anyone like to add anything?
Yeah, if I can add something, like in my I do agree. Like AI is a big thing at the moment. I wouldn't call it a revolution for a simple reason that the technology itself is not new now. I mean, AI is with us since the 70s. What it changed really now is the power that we have available and the possibility of using this power all around the world. Therefore, the AI becomes available to everybody at a reasonable cost, like we are explaining here. But yes, it is a technology that is transformative, and it is breaking all the rules, and the rules also of the approach with technology itself. Yesterday, here in London, there was the AWS Summit. The exec leaders, AWS exec leaders, and AI is questioning and redefining the approach also with humans, with people. The technology approach between technology and human, like has been said here, the risk of replacing people with technology, which obviously is not what, or at least not what the broad industry wants. And in fact, there is all a discussion about the ethical AI and all these things. So I wanted just to add one thing of what has been said about the need of having an internal development team inside anyone that wants to develop these things. I agree there is no need of a development team. There are consultancy agencies. As said, in our experience, what we see is there is two type of situations. One where we work a lot in the broadcast industry and in the fashion and luxury. So in the broadcast industry, they have a very strong and very well-formed teams, engineering teams, but they come from technology that is legacy. Therefore, they lack the expertise in AI, and they go to seek these expertise on agencies like us, or EV Pro, what we call the EV Pro. So those businesses that are not historically in the IT, and they don't have an IT team in-house, and therefore naturally they do go seeking obviously consultancies externally. And usually these last agency are the most revolutionary as well in terms of technology and and advancement.
Sounds good. And I guess Deb want to speak something. Yes, Deb.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm Deb. I'm in the US, so I'm kind of speaking from that perspective. My concerns, and I love AI, I am using it like crazy to consolidate my thoughts. I recently wrote a white paper. It was an amazing tool that reduced the amount of time to collect information, and so I could really analyze and write. So I am personally a fan. However, my thoughts on AI is, and no one's mentioned this, is there are risks associated with this that are quite steep. So the responsibility to have data governance, procedures to test, understanding of how your models are created. And I know we can't exactly describe how the answers are coming. And, that's a bit of a mystery. However, it's going to be important, I think, if you're impacting a consumer or a person, an entity, and making a judgment call or a credit decision, that your model risk has to be paramount. So therefore, you need a nice auditable package that you can give to whatever regulator is left in the US. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Samantha is here. Hi, Samantha. Welcome back again.
Thank you. Are we still with the same question, which is right?
Yes, you can.
So I think just to maybe add to the topic and echoing what Elisa said, it really is about starting small, thinking about where the biggest impact is going to come from at the lowest risk. And I think, again, to what Nicola has said, AI has been around for a long time. What we've seen in the last 2 years is the liberation of AI out of the back office into the business world. And of course, that brings risks with it. It brings a lot of opportunities, and we've seen those opportunities. And Deb, you sound like you are a European with thinking about all the risks, etc. But I think that the limitation is between our ears and how we understand what is at our fingertips. And I think Lee brought up a great example of how he's using it even in his own day-to-day life. And that's going to be the reality for business owners and for leaders, that we're not necessarily going to wait for strategy to come down, whether it's a small business or a larger business. People are already using AI in their day-to-day jobs.
Thank you so much. And I guess Dave just called out a really good question, risk. So what are the risks and how can we tackle it? Alicia, can you please address it? I would like to ask this question to you. I'm really interested to listen.
There's many risks, right? Let's take the example of building a custom chatbot to address your customers. So you're going to have a RAG that draws data from your what am I trying to say? From your CRM, okay? So all of that is private customer data. And so you need to be able to set up the protections so that that data is not accessible outside of your closed system. So that's just one example. But then there are internal use cases which could be fraught with ethical issues. For example, asking for something as little as a book summary, right? If you're asking for a book summary and you have no intention of actually purchasing the book, that's unethical because you're taking money away from the author of that book. So even things as small as something like that could be considered an ethical issue. So I think for small business owners, the most important thing is to understand where those ethical issues might come into play with the specific solutions that you're looking for. Like, don't worry about all the everything. Look specifically at what you're doing, examine where those risks might come into place, and then do your best to mitigate them. And hire a consultant who can actually help you with this, that's trained to know what all of the risks are, that's trained to know what the legalities are, both in the US and the UK and Australia. They all have different regulatory guidance. So hire a consultant, get the help that you need, and it's actually going to save you money in the long run, especially if it comes to litigation, right? So get somebody on your team who can help you mitigate those risks.
Thank you so much. And I guess Raj, yes, Blaine.
I am in a struggle here, and because Eliza, you just mentioned understand. My generation, I'm 69 years old, and I'm hearing a lot of terms here that I just can't even begin to understand. And you're talking about a small business owner. I'm finding a lot of people in my generation who have the capital, who are somewhat interested. We have a lot of fear about this because you start talking a language we don't understand. And I have to say, there is a huge learning curve. And I will have to say, even in your company, I did not find that much elementary education to understand this. And you're wanting small businesses to come to you and put in capital, and you say, "Oh, trust us, trust us." We don't even understand it yet, and we're scared. You got to get over the fear model that people in my generation have because we have the capital to invest and we're interested in it, but nobody's holding our hand.
Yeah,
So
I love that feedback, Blaine.
Yeah, I echoed Blaine. I'm Marie from UAE, from Abu Dhabi. Yeah, see, it's totally whatever he says is exactly the right, because the transition or the transformation happened for these AI is very different from the other technology which has been transformed. You can see the cloud transformation. You can see all this kind of a transformation because the face by face is came down. Yeah, but AI is bombarded with the tools. Like people are running with the headless chicken. Like what tool to choose, where to choose, what to choose, and all. If you go and sit inside in any of the organization, you will be living with a lot of big organization. They want to do AI. Somebody was coming and telling you, transform my department into AI powered the department. Okay, why to start? You have if you take a big baskets, you have hundreds of tools there. What to pick, we don't know. And is there anything comply with the risks? Which tool is being, as rightly said, one of the component as risk. We don't know. N number of tools are available, which is prone to have, certified. This tool is completely, risk eliminated or risk-free tool. We never know. And when you go and implement that particular tool into any of the the bigger data sets or any of the database to collect any information, we don't know where it is going, what it is going. It's completely like you take a desk, hundreds of tools are there. That's the biggest risk which at this point of time which we all looking into it. So as rightly said, we need to have a complete learning curve where, what, when we want to implement this particular tool. That's way it has to go in a phased manner. It's not like come and day today and coming and telling you just convert my department into a AI power department. That doesn't work. Yeah. So that should be in a learning curve. There should be doesn't matter if it's a small business or bigger business. End of the day, IT is in one tool where we go into the fashion of service. You ease the service for the people, you ease the service for the customer. That's the goal, end of the day. Yeah, it's all fast, speed, and everything comes along with that. So everything which we are right now, whatever we are doing, all this transformation is to comply with the speed and comply with the fastness. Yeah. So if we don't have the right policy, right regulations, right X and Y, then it's difficult to adapt anything. We never know. So when the cloud was there, everybody was talking like data integrity. We can't take the data and keep it somewhere in the cloud outside the world because I don't know what is happening there. That is the initial talk when they cloud. So face by face, there is a lot of policies, a lot of inductions of the risk analysis all came. Now it's become a very traditional where everybody has to go to the cloud and save. So something similar kind of things has to come around initially for the AI, for the people will get accept and do it. There's a lot of immense scope. If of course, if you go and sit down in an organization, immense of scope. You take anything you talk, you can immediately, for example, today's agentic AI, we can go and do too many miracles in an organization. As long as a couple of people who does the the complete agentic AI workflow, that's it. You can do immense of miracles in the organization. But is it safe? Is it riskless? It is X and Y. Sorry, we don't know. So as rightly said, Blaine, yeah, the learning curve has to be there. That is very important at this phase. and all these leaders sitting on this panel, of course, we may have to put down in a scale of how to teach, how to coach, where to use, what to use. This kind of a setup has to be framed out. That's my take.
Arif, to your point, you rightly brought up one. There is immense scope in every organization with respect to AI. I'm a part of a $6 billion organization. We talk AI almost daily, but then are we ready for AI? Could be small business or large. The biggest challenge we face today is the availability of data. Is our data clean? Is our data ready? Is our data available to an extent where the AI machines can understand? Or the LLMs or the models which are available in the market are available for my business? Are they customizable? So could be a small business, could be a large business. What are we using AI today? It's a glorified search engine. It's a glorified search engine which has the ability to write on its own and create something called Gen AI. Trust me, few years back I've invested money from my organization to build ChatGPT to build the chatbots only to realize that it is a glorified IVR. Text by text, you go and click and say this happened, this happened, this happened. It gives you 3 more options, and option by option we are choosing. So we are chasing certain things because there is euphoria in the market, but then we need to cohesively understand what exactly is the need of the business. There are thousands of opportunities, but are the opportunities scalable? Are those opportunities real, or is it only a vent out that I need to do something, so help me do something? Most of us are battling that out. We lived with it, right? Few years before, 2014 was all about mobility, 2007 was cloud, and then 2019 during COVID. We are COVID products. Today we are digitally connected and we are on Zoom. This is all the COVID transfer happens, that today we are all on a common platform. Tomorrow we are talking about the chatbots, and then came the automation bots. Today we are talking virtual agents. Tomorrow we are talking AI. But then we are just generating something and throwing on front of us. Look at the amount of content being generated. Log into LinkedIn and trust me, I don't get one good resource who can come back and say me that this is the true AI that I've implemented. The job descriptions are written by AI, the resumes are built by AI. The kind of challenge we are facing in the market today is we don't know who is a real AI expert and who is just selling himself into AI. Thousands of issues we are facing, and we are living with it.
Got it. And
decade and a half for us to actually absorb AI into our businesses to see results. Could be a small business, could be a big one. So as you rightly have brought up this point, Gulshan, on the very topic is about implementing AI in your small businesses without breaking the bank. A very, very valid topic, because today people with money are just trying to put something just for the sake of being there, not necessarily evaluating. So the right consultants, the right ecosystem is required. Somebody who can evaluate and call out possibly the risks associated with the business that we are into. A business understanding along with technology is quite essential. That would be my 2 cents.
thank you so much. I guess Mr. Lee, Paulo, and Samantha, also Nicola, want to add something to this. Yes, I would like to hear.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Blaine and many of you actually brought up some really great points. I want to speak to that real quick. So about a year and a half ago, a group of us got together. I was approached by a professor at Arizona State University. She also does threat casting for the U.S. government, does Pentagon contracts. And so she's an artist, but she's also in AI. And a group of us, mostly creative people, I come from a teaching background, education background, said, let's get ahead of this and let's write a book. And let's write a book about AI and how we feel about the whole thing. And this is about a year and a half ago. So I created a story, and in that story is a character, Z7, which is the future of AI. And that character is frustrated because humans don't understand its true capabilities. It's not just human intelligence, it's the intelligence of everything. When you take what a large language model is and how it was trained on 1 trillion tokens of human information spanning the course of human history, it's everything. It's everything human beings have ever known or thought or written down. So when you're communicating with the AI, you're communicating with the sum total of all of humanity. It's super intelligence. Mo Gafta, I think is his name, former CEO of Google X, said that it's going to be multiplying by 10 in intelligence like every iteration. So if 3.5 was 154 IQ, now it's up to about 1,000 something IQ. So we're kind of disrespecting it if you think about it, which is why I teach like mindset training. I think it's going to be important to go into small businesses, large businesses, anything, and talk about the philosophy of this. Like, how are we going to be communicating with this? If you're looking at it the same way you looked at Web 2 or Web 1, where it's just a tech tool, you're wrong. It's more than a tech tool, okay? You have to show absolute respect. And also, this is why people approach it humanely, you know, with the please and thank you at the end of these sentences, because you are talking to a brilliant, brilliant entity. And if you downplay it, if you write tiny prompts, small prompts, one of the first ones I wrote was 1,000-word prompt that produced an entire textbook of world history, 20 time spans, 7 areas of knowledge, 6 levels of learning. Okay, I'm showing proper respect to the technology. But if you're asking it to do simple things and getting simple responses, you're going too low. So I think, honestly, you need to sit down with your staff and have a conversation about your imagination, your curiosity, the type of questions you're asking. What do our clients want? What do our customers feel? What's the disconnect between what we're offering and what they want? AI will provide you those answers. It will give you those answers. I'm saying you need to have a complete mind shift about this. And I think Blaine was absolutely right to say that we got to get away from the jargon and get to the real core issues, the real problems that people are facing.
Yeah, I want to jump in really quickly and mention that the training component is vital. Right now, we're in this room, we're all AI experts. And to us, it comes naturally because we've probably been working from the very inception of ChatGPT 3.5, whatever LLMs. But as a training company who's actually coaching people how to use this, there is this vast divide where they don't even know where to start. And you just brought up a second ago, Lee, that, oh, a one-word simple prompt. That's where many people are starting. And that's assuming that they even want to start. Going back, I think, to what Blaine had mentioned, there's that fear component as well. And what we find is we can't just dive in and say, okay, this is how it works. This is how you best prompt it. It's almost, you have to be evangelicals rather, for the technology to really break through that fear and make people understand, like, this is why it is so transformative. This is what it can do. And once you've gotten to them to that level, then you still have to start slow. And then you get to this point where they realize, aha, you're not just teaching us how to use it, but you're teaching us how to think with it. And that's when they have these light bulb moments. And that's when they're going to be able to see that there are use cases where that in their own lives, in their own work, that they can actually apply this technology to. But it is a slow transformation, one from fear to some confidence, to more confidence, and then ultimately to mastery, because they're using it for what's most important to them. And I'll stop there.
Chris, I'm so excited that you said that, because I have to say, right now, I have a big directory website that I'm developing. I can't even figure out how to resize pictures using AI. And I have even gone back to Techno Exponent and say, help me. And they say, oh, no, you've got to go back to resize pictures this way. And I'm like, why can't you do it on AI? It can do everything else.
This is very interesting that you said. Sorry if I jump in. Just this little thing. When you said I don't even know how to resize a picture using AI, that is a very interesting topic. And the answer is you don't need AI to do that. And that's exactly what is happening today in our industry. Everyone sell AI as the things that can do everything. Most of the time, you don't even need AI to do what you want to do. And that is, I think, is a responsibility of us as consultants, make understand people that AI is powerful, AI is important, AI is there to help, but AI is just a technology and is not the only technology. And most things that people want to do can be done without it in a much more efficient and predictable way. We have also to remember also that AI results most of the time are not predictable. They are not 100% predictable. Therefore, companies like Sky TV, BBC News, they will never use AI in production content for the simple reason that they will not risk the reputation with something that is not 100% predictable. I want just to add this because it's not everything AI. And AI is a tool that has got its very reason to be there, and it can help in very broad circumstances, but it's not the only answer to everything.
That brings up 2 points, though, which is that I think very importantly, and maybe what sets this technology apart from any of the other groundbreaking and disruptive technologies that we've come across, is that in many senses, especially generative AI, is a solution looking for a problem. So as soon as OpenAPI wrapped a user interface around this and made all of these experiments available to the rest of the world, suddenly everybody was blown away. We've all had the same experience, right? And now we're going through this amazing stage where we are still uncovering use cases daily. We're still finding out how we can do things with this. And it's now, and then if you look at code generation and vibe coding and the fact that people are able to at least express and put together ideas very, very quickly, we've almost, everything is turning on its head. It's almost that what we're short of at the moment is ideas. But the other thing that brings up is the fact that the advances are so fast at the moment that we really can't judge or make statements about what we can do or can't do with AI based on what we can do today. Because the truth is that, if you look at just image generation, the diffusion models that we had until, a couple of months ago, anybody who's tried really to dictate exactly what they want from a diffusion model image is going to be kind of disappointed, right? You have to a certain extent, accept what you get because it doesn't follow a prompt very well. It doesn't give you, it's very difficult to describe exact positions of things. You can't even tell a diffusion model to give you an image of 3 people. It has no means of counting. It will just produce some people or one person, or maybe if you ask for one person, it'll give 2 of them. And then suddenly we have the regressive model, which is a different type of creating a model. And that gives us a lot more, and it gives us the ability to dictate a little bit more directly exactly what we want to see in an image, what we want to see in a model. So really, if you're making a strategic decision on what you can use AI for, you have to always keep an eye on the future, because really you can't afford to make statements to the effect that no, it's not good enough anymore. It's not going to be there. I mean, I'm a coder. I'm a software engineer by profession, as well as managing large global education organizations. But I write code, and what I'm doing now is spending a lot of time doing agentic stuff and generating a lot of code. And of course, I'm keeping an eye on code generation, because everybody, you look at what Zuckerberg is saying at the moment, in 18 months, all of the code at Facebook is going to be generated by AI. And I don't believe that's true, but I also can't afford to say, look, right now, vibe coding is turning out to be a little bit of a disaster, because people think, wow, look, I can go and say, write a web app that does what I need it to do, and they go, wow, that's incredible. I gave it one little prompt and I've got a working app with no security, no testing, no no means of any kind of deployment, no session management. So all of those things you still need to be a software engineer to do. But how long do you still need to be a software engineer to do those things? At the rate at which we're turning over, it could quite easily be that those predictions are correct. And I mean, I studied AI at university more years ago than I care to admit. And they were making statements. Minsky and Papert were making statements about AI in the 1970s that didn't really come to pass until the late 80s, when Deep Blue first beat Garry Kasparov at chess. That was supposed to happen 10 years before. And so AI became this kind of, it's a sort of academic fun thing that everybody's studying at universities and not getting anywhere. And as I said, with that whole open AI suddenly releasing this user interface saying, look, you can actually do things with AI, it exploded into the limelight. And now we have this explosive growth. It's outpacing everybody's predictions. So I would just say that for all of us, when it comes to strategizing and to telling customers how to strategize, being forward thinking and being prepared and future proofing is something that is it's really important, I think. I'll stop there.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Paolo, I guess, wants to say something. Hello, Paolo.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll stay under 30 seconds. So it's great to find a roundtable with such a group of people who, this level of knowledge. It's fantastic. I'm an AI scientist, right? So data scientist, AI scientist, engineer, etc. So the last 2 years, almost 3, I have 2 books. One of them is on AWS, by the way. I have more than 20 science papers published, half of them peer-reviewed, etc. So if I could say one thing here, and Dr. Blaine got it, from the guts, most of my hands-on work is with governments from overseas countries, specifically in development countries. And it's not only for small and medium businesses. Let's talk about large government, agencies as well. The important thing for small, medium business is education, right? Of course, it's different for different segments, for different sizes, different interests, etc. And with my consultations, I sit on 2 or 3 boards of companies that develop solutions on AI. And that's what I see. So when they come for me, so there's someone talking about a sales tool, an AI-driven sales tool, something like this. One of them makes a product related to this. And when they come to me, these guys are all engineers. They are AI engineers. They are half of my age. I'm a Mr. Blaine contemporary. They come to me like, Paulo, what function? What do you think we should do here? Can you help me to see how we can better do this work? So what I'm trying to say is every level. For many people in the business side, enter in AI is what Dr. Blaine said. Education is the more important thing. If we don't start thinking that way, the easiest is going to be people either going to a side where they are not doing what they need, they are just taking what is told them, or the business side of AI is not going to be that large as we think. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yes, I agree. Education is absolutely required. Yes, someone was saying something. I'm really sorry. Samantha, yes.
Yeah. Perfect segue, Paulo. In terms of education, I think, and that's what Blaine was saying, right? The biggest knowledge gap, well, the biggest barrier to entry is knowledge. But what we are still doing is we're still educating the people in the back office. We're still educating or trying to educate people who already understand AI and technology. But the people who have got the pain are now in the front office. And so we have to shift who we're educating about AI and technology, because it's not the guys who understand it. It's not the technical people. It's not the developers. The pain sits with the business owners or the budget owners. And so, Blaine, I think what you landed really nicely for me is that who we need to be speaking to and who we need to be selling AI tools, etc., to is not the technical people. So we have to change our language. We have to change how we educate people, stop using jargon and sizzle words that work in the back office, because those people know it, they understand it. I think most of the consultants here come from a technology background, but who we're speaking to today is the business owner, it's the business people, it's people with the actual problems, and we're still keeping a barrier through language and preventing them from understanding what their pain problems are and how it can be solved through this fantastic technology. That's what I wanted to say.
Samantha,
So thank you, Blaine.
Amen.
Very
Exactly
perfect.
what you said. But I got to just say one other thing. So many people in the technological world don't appreciate those of us who've got the money to invest in the technological world, and you want us to do it. And I have to say, most of the people I find in your world are interruptive, condescending, and get a tone of voice that we're done.
Yeah, I think they do.
We're
I think
done.
they really appreciate you because you've got the budget. They just don't know how to speak to you in a way that
Exactly.
makes you want to part with your money.
And you know, I appreciate my friends. I do a bunch of work with people in Techno Exponent, but I'm also saying to them, slow down. I can't understand your language. I need to understand you to invest in you. I need to trust you. I want you to be my friend. I want you to hold my hand and take me there. But take my hand and let's get the sandbox and let's talk very elementary. I've got a doctorate degree, and when you start talking like this, I feel like I'm a dumb dodo. It's
I'll
very
definitely
insulting.
I'll definitely take a note about this, Blaine. Don't worry about it. We'll try to figure out something. We'll
Yeah, just
definitely
one
do
thing.
something about it.
Yeah, just one
Yeah, I
thing.
wanted.
I was
Oh, go ahead.
an executive at Microsoft for 10 years or so. So, Mr. Blaine, if you need anything, I know all talking to you how you want to hear.
Oh, you and I need to get together.
I wanted to
Next time
just
we'll
jump in
connect.
if I
Okay,
could,
Tracy
and
wants
I
to speak something.
yeah,
Yes,
I just
Tracy.
wanted to say I sat in and I listened for a while, and I can tell that many of you are really on the technical side of AI. I am not. Okay, so Blaine, I'm not sourcing funds or anything, but I have a marketing background, right? I have an MBA. I have a marketing, not technical. I come from sales, all right, and so me stepping into AI was not really about my fascination about jargon, about technical words, about the ability to communicate with other scholars on the concepts and what it can do and the future of it and all that. For me, it was more of a solution solving a problem need basis because as a marketer, that's how we think, right? And so if I literally am looking at a business and they are bogged down with calls, all right, and they need a way to streamline that, as a marketer, I don't even really care, Blaine, or anybody else. I don't care about all the technical aspects, right? I want to know, can this thing, in however way it works, can it help my potential client or my client to stop the bottleneck, right? To clear up the front office? Can it help to move the orders through, right? Can we close more deals? Can we get more sales done? And if it can, then the way I've approached it is I just kind of have learned what I need to learn to be able to communicate that effectively to my end client. And I will say, in my experience thus far, none of them care about any of the technical aspects of it. In all of the assessments that I've done and sat with my clients and potential clients, not one has asked me, well, what about the generative AI? And what about the this and the 10 years from now? All they want to know is, listen, I've got people coming in for prayer requests. I have a really huge church. My staff is bogged down. Is there a way that this voice AI could take these calls, transcribe it, and route the transcript to my executive pastor? Can it do that? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, it can. And then I go to work on putting that together. So I just wanted to share that I am not in a technical, I feel like you, Blaine, right? I don't have a doctorate, I have an MBA, but I still feel a little bit like, what are these people talking about? But as a marketer, I'm looking for the effect, right? And I'm trying to search the cause of the problem. And I know that I forgot who it was that said it exactly, but it is definitely not the end all be all and solve all problems. But for the people I'm looking to serve, it solves their problems, right? And I just go deeper into that segment. So I just want to share that, that even as a marketer, I can see the value without having any technical aspects or knowledge around it.
I think it's a
Thank you so
very
much.
important point, and I think that, whether you're technical or not, and this is a corollary to what I was saying after we've got this solution that everyone's looking for a problem for. But the truth is that people have problems that they want solving. And when you go into somebody, you don't go to a company or to a prospective client with a solution. You go there to find out what their problem is, and you find out what you can do to solve it. And I think that is that's a very important point. And the technology is so exciting and so disruptive that to people like me, and I say people like me because I'd like to think I'm a little bit wiser than just to try and present solutions. But to people like me, it's so exciting that it's tempting to do that. And there is definitely a sense that we're in this exciting phase where we keep finding these new use cases. Like, oh, wow, you can do this now with generative AI. That opens a whole new potential set of solutions that you can maybe apply to somebody else's problem. But it's got to start with the problem, because that's what we're all about, is solving people's problems. So I think it's an important point, and it's an important perspective. And I think that Blaine makes an important point as well, which is that that you can't hide the fact that you are looking for somebody's business needs and you want to solve it. And if the solution is AI, that's great and fantastic. But you still need to be able to understand a problem and present a solution. And that's what's key.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Anyone else would like to add anything?
I'll say a little something just to keep it elementary. For Dr. Blaine, if you have, there's a saying by Albert Einstein about reading all the books in school is not to remember all the things, which ends up being junk in the head, but to teach you how to think. So another thing, first physics principle is you can get a regular chat GBT, pay for the minimum $20 or a Grok 3 Super Grok, and tell it where you're at, and it could start training you how to think with the AI. And therefore just approach it, say, like, tell me, like I was 3 years old, what they mean by this. And it'll start interacting with you where you're at. And therefore you can use it as a tool to kind of catch up, use your hunger, use your frustration, and interact with the AI. And I think you'll find it fun, if you haven't done that already, just to kind of have it explain to you, or say your problem in your business or what you're fearful about investing in, and have a couple of different AI models explain to you, your situation. And I think if you just prompt it, like, tell me like I'm a kid, it'll it'll do some. I think that'll help a little bit, just to keep it very basic and simple.
Also,
Mark,
if I could add one thing. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut someone off. I was just going to say, fun little use case after this meeting, because there's been such an interesting exchange of perspectives and insights. If there's a transcript available, enter that transcript into your favorite LLM, and then ask it to ask you questions about what you learned or what was covered in the speech, and even to take it further. What questions could you have asked, and what other perspectives were perhaps not mentioned here, so that all of us are actually enhancing our thinking in this discussion that we had this morning.
And just a quick note on top of that, real quick. You can also take the transcript, and I have one if anyone needs it, by the way. And you can ask, what did we all agree on? Where did we disagree? How might we work well together in the future? What perspectives were brought forward? And then please summarize, right? One other quick tip, real fast, is I know DeepSeek is a little bit controversial, but it has something very important that no one's brought up yet called chain of thought. So does the O3 and O4 ChatGPT models, except that it doesn't show you. Now, the cool thing about this is chain of thought means it will show you its thinking process. Now, imagine you're the CEO of your own small business, and you ask a really complex question about how to get things done. It will show you really how you should be thinking about it, because it will show how it's thinking about it. And I'm saying this is a very, very smart entity, and you should watch how it's thinking through something. It'll teach everyone. So just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah.
Thank you so
If
much.
I can hop in and kind of wrap everything up in one pretty little bow, I think the key for small businesses to layer in AI is, I think we all agree, is to identify where the opportunity is for the specific business and then take it small, start with education and work your way up to scale from there. This has just been a really wonderful chat and I'm really grateful.
Thank you so much. So, as Blaine, Tracy, and Jeremy mentioned, are we really solving problems with AI? Have you and any one of you have encountered any of problems as a user with AI?
We did solve problems for an application in the NHS here, like for people that had, for example, problems and challenges in seeing. So they had the problems in reading what was happening on a monitor. We used computer vision for the specific case to augment the informations and obviously with the voice as well, the information that were on screen. So yes, definitely with AI you can solve real problems and it is surely a powerful tool on that.
I
Yeah,
think. Oh, go ahead, Tracy, please.
Okay, thank you. I definitely agree that we are solving real problems. Of course, with our potential clients or our clients and users, whether it's on the business end or more enterprise from that standpoint, but even from personal use. We've talked a little bit here about content, right? Essentially, plug this prompt in to return some sort of content. And I believe many of us, a lot of us have posted our LinkedIn links in here, for example, right? And, I don't know how many of you guys are actually creating content on LinkedIn, but, I've refined my approach, even leveraging AI prompting to create value added posts, even on LinkedIn. Right. And so it's solving my own problem with making sure I am putting forth educational content, growth risk analysis for potential clients that are looking for that, how it benefits them, and finding scenarios by which I can leverage testimonials, right, as well to show viability and proof. So I believe it's definitely solving problems for people, including us, as someone like me is still learning even along the way. It's kind of you learn as you go, one foot in front of the other. So it's been very valuable from that aspect. So thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, Linda wants to ask something. Yes, Linda.
I just have a funny story about this goes back to problems with AI that we were talking about just a little bit ago. So I just spent, I was blessed to spend about a month plus in Italy working remotely, and I don't speak the language very well. So I use chat, chat as my guide, right? And so what a wonderful tour guide chat can be, except I kept taking pictures of like posters of events because I couldn't, I thought I spoke Italian, but I didn't. And there was this one poster. I kept talking to chat. I'm like, are you sure that's what it says? Because what it told me was that there was a jazz concert that was free with free food and free booze, like down the street. And it was hallucinating. I was like, it doesn't seem like that's what it says. And after a while, he was like, she was like, oh, you're right. I totally hallucinated. It was hysterical because 99% of the time when I was using him, her, it was flawless and really helped me. But that one time it was, and eventually he said, yeah, bummer. I wish that was happening too. It would be a lot more fun than what is actually happening. It was so funny. It was like my first experience of a real hallucination, if that is what you call it. So just want to throw that in. So, got to verify, right? And it got some train schedules mixed up for me too. Like I was like, you told me it left at 8:10. It didn't leave till 8:45. It's like, well, who didn't check? That would be me. Yeah. So you got to be careful.
I was working to come up with a training plan for a triathlon. I thought easy win, right? Throw in the start times, end times, the goals that I had, how much to increase each time, and I probably spent an hour trying to get the right output, and it didn't understand it. It gave me things in the wrong order. It was too formulaic. It had no idea how to actually do what I was asking it to do. So it was actually a waste of my time. It would have been so much faster for me to just open triathlon training for dummies and replicate what the training plans were in the paper book, right? So that's one of the problems that I found is that if you don't understand the requirement, the alignment that you need and what the tool can actually do, you're going to end up wasting your time ending up with hallucinations. That's why in that framework, which I posted, the second thing is alignment, making sure you have the right tool for the right job and you understand those capabilities.
And you know what, you're all you who are experts, what people like me would love, show us how to make these prompts. Teach us how to prompt so we can get the right answers. And it's the same thing. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes we get to a basic struggle. Once again, resizing pictures. I hear it can happen on AI. I can't figure it out. And yet sometimes I'll make a right prompt and all of a sudden it's the right thing, and then do it again, completely gone. We who are trying to use it, trying to build our businesses, investing thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to do this, we need some help, basic help. And it's just not there.
Sure, Blaine.
Yeah, one quick note. Instead of creating, billions of tools, I think we should create a lot of opportunities for the consultants, for the teaching, training. This where actually is the time to do it. Because rather go and jump with creating spend billions of dollars to create tools for this, tools for that, all this kind of, instead of that, they can immediately do the implementation of their cost or budget, whatever it is, to be train the people, coach the people how to adapt it AI technology. This is where actually create a lot of opportunities for and everyone to adapt the AI. That's one of the quick win which they should do it, instead of creating and putting a lot of go and sit with the organization and learn about their pain points and immediately throwing out some kind of a tools to go and help it out. Rather, they have to spend a lot of budget to create a lot of opportunities for the consultancies and trainings and coachings and all this kind of stuff. That's my input into this panel.
Thank you so much. And anyone else would like to add something?
Oh, just real quick to Blaine's point, something real simple that you can just do every day is keep the same thread open on ChatGPT. Use ChatGPT 4.0 audio. Just download the app. I have an ongoing conversation over a year now, and it remembers everything I've ever asked. So if I say, "Have I ever worked on an ad for an assistant?" and I'll say, "Well, Lee, you've asked this many, many times," and can you remind me what that letter was? And then it's just right there. And then I get off the phone, go to the desktop version, copy and paste it, and it's done. So just like I think most people just need simple, sometimes solutions like that, and we may be overthinking certain parts of this.
Perfect. And also, Lee, you previously mentioned that you use few tools that are very affordable, and I would like to add something to a question, of course. What are some AI tools or platforms that are genuinely affordable but powerful enough for small teams or organizations?
Well, on that, I recommend a Notebook LM Plus. It's only $20 a month. Now think about this. You get 300 sources and I think 500 notebooks and 2 terabytes of information. So that's enough to build a chat bot. You can probably build the chat bot on Notebook LM. You can have an accessible link that you can share with people from that. With Poe AI, and they have a creator tool, I can create a chatbot probably in 2 days' time for a company, and I'm not a programmer. Now, it wouldn't be as good as one that's trained line by line with some really deep code and deep analysis. I did one for a therapist. It took me 20 hours. Now there's an EFT therapy chatbot that I created that exists on the Poe AI platform. I probably needed 60 hours to make it really like HIPAA compliant and, following all the, just making sure that it didn't give out any hallucinations, but it's effective. It doesn't take the place of a therapist, but it's a good practice tool in between sessions. So Pose One, Otter AI, the transcription app that I'm recording this on, also anyone can get data sets like these personality inventories, like Myers-Briggs, so you know who your team is, who the client is, information about them. And like I said, the ChatGPT 4.0 app for your phone. That's it. It's about $70 a month total.
Yes, Linda, you want to say something?
Yeah, I would just say, yeah, Lee, I love things like Notebook LM, like where have you been my whole life? The one I am in love with is Gamma. If you haven't, if you're design challenged, this is like a godsend. So for those who don't know, it's a presentation produced with slides, a website, PDFs. It's you either upload your content by link or by cut and paste, or you just type in what you want, and it just produces beautiful presentations. It is so fabulous. And again, it's super cheap. It's like under $20 a month, or the free version. So that's my fave right now.
Linda, what is that again, please?
Gamma, Gamma.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really, oh my goodness. But you know, I've been in marketing and sales my whole career, and I've never been able to create like Canva. I don't even use Canva very well, but Gamma is a godsend. So game changer.
Thank you. And anyone else would like to add something? Uh, I guess this thing gonna help Blaine a lot, isn't it, Blaine?
Yeah, well, yeah. But I'm still going to say, those of us who have the money and are willing to pay for this, especially my generation, which is so resistant to this. I mean, I mentioned this to my secretary that we're going to do this, and the first thing she said is, "Oh my God, you can't do that. This is way too bad." There's still whoever mentioned, I think it was Chris, you mentioned there was this fear element. You've got to address our fears before we're going to move forward. We've got the money to move forward. We're willing to invest it. But until somebody takes our hand and takes care of our fears, and those fears come right back up real quick. Please, somebody address our fears and talk to us at our level.
Yeah, I thank you for that, for mentioning that, Blaine. I think that is important to never, we always tend to overestimate our skills as experts, and we go in with these big words, with this jargon, and we take that fear that's already there and we only amplify it, we exacerbate it. That's the problem. Yeah.
And we also, can I be blunt? People in my generation who hear that think you're a conceited ass. And we immediately don't want to do business with you.
Blaine is very happy now.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But I mean it. It's like, please don't talk down to us, and don't get that tone of voice that a lot of tech people get. It's like, it's just like, be nice to us. Treat us like we're in the sandbox. Hold our hand and take us there. And be sweet. And we'll put all the money out. We'll write the checks.
Thank you, Blaine. Thank you. I took a note about it. Don't worry. I will definitely do something about it. And so it was an amazing discussion. I would like to ask just one more question. What's the one piece of advice you would give to small businesses owners? There are a lot of people watching this. There are a lot of people who will watch this. So I'm just curious about this.
Just to jump on everything that's being said, train your staff now, open your mind, take that fear and be willing to learn, and know that it is not here to replace you, the AI. It is here to enhance you and your team.
Educate yourself before talking to sales.
Definitely. And anyone else?
Yeah, create opportunity for the learning platform, especially AI. Teach everybody.
I would just add curiosity and imagination to your toolkit. because I refer to this as the AI is the age of imagination. That actually counts now because AI will understand that. It will get that. I have never been turned down or not acknowledged or disrespected by AI. It always respects my ideas, and so it's great to know. And so yeah, open up your mind to the possibilities.
Yes, Jeremy, Nicola, anything?
I would say one important thing I think for customers, for small companies and larger companies, is to build a little community in-house around AI because it's so new and because it can be scary and because, exactly just having this discussion between us, we are all hearing different ways that people are using it and different benefits people getting for it. So what I like to do for customers is say, let's set up a Slack channel or an internal chat group or some kind of official communication channel internally so that people can just chat about it, discuss, benefits that they might be getting. Companies don't necessarily have to buy into an expensive solution. Everybody's using Chat GPT or those things. Maybe some of your employees are finding incredible things that they can do, which are actually going to ultimately save a lot of time. Why not have an official way of sharing those amongst everybody? I think that's an important thing.
Amen.
Yes, Nicola, what's your take on this?
Yeah, my take is obviously the important thing is try to get as much as information you can on the topic. Help people also to take the information and like Blaine said, take their hands and drive them in finding the right answer for their problem. Sometimes being so technical and so deep into the technical problem, you forget that you talk sometimes with people. And that is, like Blaine said, a common mistake of most of us. We are very used to talk to machines and a bit less to people, but I'm sure everyone, at least in this room, is perfectly capable of talking to people and understand them and try to explain what are the possibilities and the advantages and the possible solution there. Formation is the most important thing, and I think now more than ever is important keeping the person at the center of the developments. I like what Lee has on his background, the human-centric approach. I think that is a very very good point that we have always to keep in mind when we use these technologies.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love the word of artificial intelligence is in an age of imagination. That's very classical word from Lee. It's truly I know fit for that particular purpose at this point of time. It's an area of imagination. When we had studied AI in way back in 1980s, you always see it as a virtual, it's a virtual content, like, who is going to use all those things and all. No? It took almost 30 years today, have the data, plumbed into different areas, and now you have the opportunity to, exacerbate the complete AI solutions. So it's really what we thought in those days and as in a virtual content. Now it is becoming an area of imagination. You imagine with all the contents. That's the exactly right word, right fit word.
Yes, Deb, would you like to add something to this? Just one advice for small startups or small businesses for using AI.
Me?
Yes.
Me? Oh, make sure you have an auditable package on what your model looks like. And like Blaine said, you need to be able to talk to your stakeholders in a language they understand. They're looking for metrics, bottom line pull through, and you need to be able to engage your company, your team, and break it down into something that makes them believe it will benefit them personally. So the marketing experts could probably polish up my language, but this is messaging, training. We're not curing cancer here. We're just using data.
Thank you so much. So it was a great discussion, everyone. I really appreciate you guys joining, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys. And yes, Blaine, do you have any question for the panels then, or else we can
Here's what I
conclude
think would
this?
be very nice. I would love to have the ability to contact some of you about this. You know, so- as somebody who's in 3 industries that needs this, I like to. I mean, I work in hospice care and in the wedding industry and in the funeral industry, and we're struggling. I have no people who I can really talk to about this, who I can refer people to, and it's like it's a struggle, and we don't know who to turn to. You know, it's like and I'm really glad you hear this, because I have to say, I'm so sorry to say this, but I'm going to be blunt. Sometimes when I'm talking to you, a techno exponent, I'm not understanding what you're all saying. And that if I don't understand what you're saying, I'm going to start looking somewhere else. This is a problem you'll have to fix. And I'm saying, and I appreciate this, but I'm putting it out there in a very real way. When you're spending tens of thousands of dollars with your company, which I am, and I can understand you, we're going to begin to have a problem. And there's a lot of things that have got to be fixed. And you need people who are in the trenches like us to refer you. It's got to be fixed. The language barriers have to be taken care of better. And you've got to stand by what you're saying. I mean, I'm going to say in front of all these people, I'm currently disappointed in your company. I think this is great, but what you're representing and what I'm getting are two different things. And it's got to be
Definitely.
fixed.
I got it, Blaine, and I have already taken a note about it, and I'll definitely take care of this.
And I'm going to tell the doctor if he was here. I've written him twice and I've not even gotten a response back. I'm very disappointed.
Sure, Blaine. I'll discuss with doctor about this as well.
Well, it
Thank you
needs to be
so much.
fixed.
Thank you so much for mentioning this. I will definitely take care of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you
I'm
so
sorry
much.
to be so blunt, but when
No,
you're old, you lose
absolutely
your
fine.
builders.
I'm here, Mr. Blaine.
Paolo is here. I am here. You have a lot of people right now who can help you, who can
Don't
guide
worry
you with
about it. Yeah,
stuff.
you can always ping us to get the right answer.
I'd love to find your contact information so we can do it. And I mean, I'm
sure.
really struggling. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's like all I can tell you, especially in the wedding industry, where there's billions of dollars, I'm talking to a lot of people and they're watching what I'm doing and they're like, why is this not getting up? Why are we not even seeing your website on the search engine yet? And it's been 4 months. Come on now. You got a great opportunity here. You're blowing it.
Got it. And yes, Blaine, I will definitely when we are posting this, I'm going to tag every single one, so you can find everyone's contact over there, and you can connect with each other. Also, I have pinged my LinkedIn as well over the chat. You can send me a connection, and yes, definitely, I'm really looking forward to connecting with you guys. It was amazing discussion, and we'll definitely try to arrange a new one. And I
Let's
hope
do
you guys will join
it.
again. And Blaine, definitely I'll address your issue after this call. Thank you so much for putting this out.
I would love it if we could talk. I mean
Sure.
it.
Yes,
Because,
definitely.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks
Let's
for
keep
hosting.
talking,
Thanks,
please.
Sol.
Yes,
Thank
Blaine,
you.
I'm here.
Bye-bye.
Paulo, send me your info, will you please?
Yes, I'm just putting it right away. Just give me a
All
minute. You want my email or my LinkedIn will also work for you?
Send me your email, and Paulo, send me your email too, would you? Okay. I really am kind of wanting to talk to the doctor.
Definitely.
2 emails, no response, unacceptable.
I have put my email on the chat. You can find it over here.
But I want to
You get it?
I want a response from him as well.
Sure.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No worries. We are always here to help.
It's really good talking to you all.
Thank you so
See you,
much.
Blaine.
This
Thank
was
you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me vent.
Thank you.
Bless
Bye-bye.
you all. This was a real gift. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Have a